You think you own silver. You're wrong. And that one mistake is the difference between owning a real asset and a worthless promise. You tapped buy on your trading app for a silver ETF like SLV. You see it in your portfolio. You feel safe. That feeling is an illusion, a trap. This is the only video you will ever need to understand why. I'm going to show you the hidden mechanism they use to sell you the idea of silver without ever giving you the metal. And I'm going to give you the exact playbook to make sure you never make this mistake again. Let's get straight to it. The entire system is designed to confuse you, to make the easy option look like the smart option. They want you to believe that a ticker symbol on a screen is the same as a silver bar in a vault. It's not even close. One is a timeless, physical asset that exists outside the system. The other is a financial product, a derivative, that exists inside the very system you're trying to protect yourself from. The mistake isn't that you bought silver. The mistake is you bought a liability on a bank's balance sheet and called it an asset. You own a promise from the people who are famous for breaking them. So let's break this down. There are only two kinds of silver on the battlefield. First, there's physical silver. This is the real thing. A government-minted coin like a silver eagle, or a 100-ounce bar from a refinery. You can hold it in your hand. Its value isn't dependent on a CEO, a fund manager, or a bank's solvency. It has zero counterparty risk. That's the key. It means there is no other party in the deal that can fail and wipe you out. It's a real asset with no corresponding liability. It's your financial shield. Then there's paper silver. This is the illusion. The most common form is an ETF, like the iShares Silver Trust, ticker SLV. It trades like a stock. It's easy, it's convenient, and that convenience is the bait, because what you actually own is a share in a trust, a piece of paper, a digital entry that says someone, somewhere, owes you exposure to the price of silver. And this is where we find the hidden mechanism, the number one mistake everyone makes: ignoring counterparty risk. When you buy SLV, you are not just trusting silver. You are trusting a chain of companies. The issuer, BlackRock; the trustee, Bank of New York Mellon; and the custodian, the bank that actually holds the metal, JP Chase. Ask yourself a simple question. What happens if one of them fails? What happens in another 2008-style crisis? The answer is in their own rulebook, the prospectus, a document they know you'll never read. So I read it for you. Killer fact number 1. You cannot get the silver, ever. The prospectus is crystal clear. Only authorized participants, basically a small club of massive financial institutions, can redeem shares for physical metal, and they can only do it in blocks of 50,000 shares. For you, the retail investor, the document says your shares are not redeemable securities. Your only way out is to sell your share to someone else on the stock market for cash. You are trapped in the paper loop. The physical silver in the vault might as well be on the moon. Killer fact number 2. In a real crisis, the ETF is designed to break. You buy silver as a hedge against a supply shortage, right? A market crisis? Well, after the silver squeeze in 2021, they updated the prospectus with a new warning. It says that during temporary distortions in the market, they may not be able to readily acquire sufficient amounts of silver. Translation: when you need it most, when physical demand is exploding, they can just stop issuing new shares. The ETF can completely detach from the real price of silver, leaving you holding a broken product while the real asset goes vertical. It's a fire extinguisher that's designed to run out of water the moment it sees a flame. This isn't an accident. The entire structure is a masterclass in transferring risk from them to you. Now, let's talk about the price. The number you see on the screen, where does it come from? It's not set by supply and demand for physical coins and bars. It's born in a casino called the COMEX, the primary market for silver futures contracts. This is a market where banks and hedge funds trade paper promises for silver. And the most important thing to understand is that it runs on extreme leverage. This brings us to the killer stat, the COMEX leverage ratio. This ratio shows how many paper ounces are being claimed for every single ounce of physical silver sitting in the vaults, ready for delivery. That ratio has been documented to be as high as 300 to 1 in the broader market. Think about that. For every 300 promises of an ounce of silver, there's only one real ounce to back it up. It's a game of musical chairs, and they've sold 300 tickets for one seat. This leverage allows the price to be pushed around by massive paper trades, often suppressing the price you see on the screen, even when dealers of physical silver are sold out and premiums are exploding. Your SLV ETF, its value is tied directly to this potentially artificial paper price. It's not tracking reality, it's tracking the casino. So, is all paper silver a trap? Not quite. There is a smarter alternative if you must use an exchange-traded product, the Sprott Physical Silver Trust, or PSLV. It's built differently, on purpose. Look at the comparison. The custodian for SLV is JP Morgan, a massive player in the paper market. The custodian for PSLV is the Royal Canadian Mint, a sovereign government entity completely outside the commercial banking system. SLV's prospectus allows it to hold cash. PSLV holds only fully allocated, unencumbered physical silver bars. And the most important difference? Redeemability. Can a retail investor in SLV get their metal? Never. Can a unit holder in PSLV? Yes. You can redeem your units for physical delivery of the metal. This feature is the ultimate discipline. It forces them to have the silver they say they have. Buying SLV keeps money in the paper system. Buying PSLV actively removes physical silver from the market. One is a pressure valve for the system, the other is a drain. This brings us to the final piece, the strategist's playbook. There are only 2 reasons to own silver. You must decide which game you are playing. Reason 1. You are a speculator. You want to make a short-term bet on the price. You're in and out in weeks or months. For this, paper is the right tool. An ETF like SLV is liquid and cheap to trade. But do not fool yourself. You are not buying a safe asset. You are placing a bet in the casino. You are accepting all the counterparty risk. It's a trade, not an insurance policy. Reason 2. You are an insurer. You are buying silver to protect your wealth, to hedge against a system collapse, currency devaluation, or runaway inflation. For this mission, physical silver is the only option. The entire point of insurance is to have zero counterparty risk, an asset that will be there when the promises are broken. The mantra is simple. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. So here is your action plan for true ownership. First, choose your product. For liquidity, buy government coins like American Silver Eagles. For the most silver per dollar, buy larger 100-ounce bars from reputable refiners. Second, vet your dealer. Look for a long history and industry accreditations from groups like the Professional Numismatists Guild. Check independent reviews on Google or Trustpilot, not just their website testimonials. Pricing should be transparent and tied to the live spot price. Third, plan your storage. A high-quality, bolted-down safe at home offers the most control. A bank's safe deposit box is an option, but know that the contents are not FDIC insured, and your access can be restricted during a bank holiday. For serious holdings, a third-party, non-bank depository is the gold standard. It's allocated, insured, audited, and completely outside the banking system. The choice is yours. You can continue to own a convenient illusion, a promise from a system built on leverage. Or you can own the real thing. Stop confusing a ticker symbol with a tangible asset. Decide your purpose, speculation or insurance. Then choose the right tool for the job. Don't just hope you're protected. Take the steps to ensure you are.